everybody. Good to be with you on a Wednesday. Ryan Brett and Alan Holt here with another episode of Weather Weenies, and we have plenty of weather to talk about today.
Be it good or bad, we got a lot to talk about.
We sure do.
Yeah.
Let's start with this kind of funky fog bank. I can count on one hand the number of times we have had fog banks since May.
Not
It's
many.
really only been a handful of days.
There was one day where we were both looking at it from Saco Bay.
Yeah.
That day I remember.
Usually this is a relatively common summer occurrence.
There have been times where I've been here for a week and it was foggy every day on the beach.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So this has been kind of cool to track on the visible satellite. You actually see like multiple layers. So this area is the low cloud fog area, and then some cumulus clouds popping up inland. But then there's actually like some subsidence in here where there are no clouds at all in between the two.
Yeah.
So kind of cool. But yeah, this fog bank came in kind of like flirted with the coast, but came in early afternoon. Now it's retreated a little bit as we're recording this.
I'm getting live updates from the beach. Ocean Park, it cleared up, but it's breezy.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
I did position the camera to try to capture this, and this is as of 3:30.
Yeah.
It's on its little tour. It was on the right spot
Oh.
before. Let's see what Freeport looks like. Yeah, they're fogged in there.
Yep.
But Portsmouth, you got nothing. Bar Harbor, nothing yet. This might be coming your way. We've got a Port Clyde in here too.
Where are the dew points right now? Are we like in the
They're
mid
in the
60s?
mid-60s
Okay.
on the coast.
And it's interesting. The recipe, at least one of the ingredients that I use, is when the dew point is within about 5 of the sea surface temps, above.
Yeah.
So sea surface low 60s, dew point in the mid 60s. That as that air cools and things come down, it doesn't take a lot of cooling. You only have 5 degrees or less to go before it starts condensing.
And you figure this water is certainly cooler
low 60s
than the water down here.
I think it's upper 60s, and that actually
down here
makes,
it's like low 60s.
yes,
but upper 60s.
upper.
down here.
That's what I meant. Yeah, upper 60s near Portsmouth, and that would, if the dew point is like. If it were lower than the water temperature, then you're not going to have problems.
Right.
Yeah. So, and you see that it's not as foggy down.
And it's now getting kind of carried with the flow too.
Yeah.
Not much rain, which a couple of little showers that have kind of popped up in the heating of the day, but these are way inland because even though it's muggier, you have kind of a stability factor with the onshore wind near the coast. So far, no lightning, but a couple little downpours.
That's about where we thought it would be, central Maine, the mountains. But yeah, coverage looks decent in the mountains.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Especially in these last couple hours. So kind of a complicated pattern going ahead.
It's causing us to kind of backtrack on how nice we were thinking part of the weekend would be.
Right. Well, and first thing, this is going to form and go by to our south tomorrow. There will be rain in southern New England tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. Maybe a shower eclipse York County, but I think that overall we'll just get some clouds from that second half of the day tomorrow. And you can kind of see that here.
And that's attached to the bottom end of the front.
Right.
That'll be coming through tomorrow too.
Yeah, and it just probably gets shunted by to our south. But you can see the clouds increase here, and maybe there's a shower late in York County, but it probably wouldn't make it too much farther north than that.
No, it doesn't look too menacing tomorrow.
No. But in southern New England, that's a lot of rain down there.
yeah, Long Island.
So you can tell how close we are to something that would be a little bit more legit. And our thinking continues to be that this high builds in for Friday and suppresses that to the south. But
for a time.
Yeah, I think that's the weekend forecast is a challenge in terms of two things. Number one, does this high weaken and pull away faster? And then number two, how much moisture do we get that comes up from the south?
I do think the moisture influx will happen. I'm curious about that low, if it can develop or not on
Saturday.
This second one that comes. And the models are there's a bunch of different scenarios in terms of the synoptics of it. that one had 2 lows that come through. The second one coming through Saturday and giving us rain. Our model wants to do 1 low, stall it for 24 hours, and then but the outcome is kind of the same.
Yeah, and
where you
we're
get
not even
rain
gonna show
Saturday.
our model because right now we just don't think there isn't much in its camp. I think the bottom line for Saturday is the farther north in the state you are, the better the weather will be. Particularly mountains, northern Maine, you may end up with a fair amount of sunshine. Conversely, the farther south you are, clouds will be increasing. And there is a risk for rain later in the day, particularly.
Yeah. And it's only Wednesday, right? I mean, so we're 3 days away from, which is starting to get closer in a forecasting sense for, confidence and whatnot. But because everything switched so much, it basically sped up. 18 to 24 hours.
Yeah, it initially looked like Saturday evening, this high would still be back over here.
Yeah.
So that would hold all this to the south.
But everything is now faster.
Right.
So I'd be curious if it holds again tomorrow, then I think, all right, we got to be ready for Saturday to be kind of a bummer.
And at this point, if you've got plans in southern coastal Maine, Saturday afternoon or Saturday evening, I would be prepared for at least clouds and probably some rain.
Yep.
It doesn't look beautiful. Even if the rain doesn't make it here, we'll at least have clouds moving in. But again, the farther north you are, the better the day will be on Saturday. And then Sunday, this kind of dissolves or zips by, depending on the GFS zips it through.
Yeah, it develops it and carries it away.
I think it kind of probably just gets infused into this second front. And Sunday it probably is a little muggier, right? And it's not guaranteed to be a washout. There are discrepancies on how much shower activity we have.
This model looks crazy, but it's because the resolution is so bad on it that it just paints everything green over a large area if only a little bit of rain's falling. So take that into consideration when looking at this. But yeah, Sunday, it looks just kind of like a gray, showery at times.
Yeah. And if you get some breaks of sun, it could be warm. Particularly in New Hampshire and western Maine. Sunday could end up being okay with a shower or a thunderstorm that comes through. But yeah, it's just challenging in that everything's kind of sped up a little bit. So
that, and it's just the way the lows are it's
not clean.
It's not, but the outcome with the majority of them is the same. That Saturday kind of deteriorates.
Right.
I would want to see, I guess, one more sweet, maybe the 0 or 12Z to come before we really, because maybe it goes back the other way. It's because this is really the first day that we've seen a complete about face in all of them.
I want to show this is the Euro rainfall. This is the European model. And again, maybe some places get more than an inch, but others, and that's dependent more on the Sunday pop-up stuff, I would think. So through Saturday 10 p.m.
Yeah, it's not a ton.
No, and then you add Sunday, kind of just depends on where things pop up. And then let's do the GFS.
And you've been making the point, too, that when we're in this drought, it's kind of like drought begets drought, right? You don't get...
This is the GFS, which doesn't pop much on Sunday.
It's interesting, too, because the GFS develops that low, and you can see a much more clear path of it. So it's not as... the European is not as developed, so the rain output's more widespread.
Right.
This one is concentrated with the low developing. So, it's not great, I don't think, but it's it is what it is.
If this were a Wednesday,
it is what
Thursday
it is.
if this were a middle of the week type situation, I wouldn't be as frustrated.
We're running out of weekends now.
Yeah, and, people have got plans and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I've got plans. You've got plans.
Right.
We don't want rain.
No, I mean, it'd be fine if it just didn't appear that this thing sped up.
Yeah. Well, we could play it we're in a drought. We need the rain. So
we do.
This is great then.
But then you look at the model rainfall there, and maybe there isn't much, and we just get a lot of clouds and a few showers.
That would be worst case scenario.
Yeah.
If it's just kind of a crummy day.
Yeah.
And then we don't get any rain either.
Right.
That would just be a bummer. But
Yeah, so keep in touch on that weekend forecast. Early next week, if you look at a weather app, I think Monday, Tuesday, they'll probably have showers on there, but it looks like after Sunday overall, early to mid next week is pretty good.
Yeah, it's looking better.
So
yeah. Interesting to say the least. It'll be good to chat tomorrow about it.
Yeah, and hopefully we don't have radical changes.
It might go the other way.
I know. If it went back to what we had, I'd be thrilled. But,
yes, that would be amazing.
I'm very skeptical that will happen at this point. Alrighty. Well, thanks for being here. weather-weenies@newscentermaine.com. That's our email. So pass along any questions you have. See ya.